In this members only Let's Play live stream, we're going to be playing American Mahjong at, I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure which platform we're going to play at because I want to leave the topic up to you. We can either do gameplay with commentary, or I can share a presentation for a gig that I have coming up on switching hands. I did share it for the first time yesterday in the Obsessed Tier live stream, and I tweaked it a little bit. So I was wondering if you would be interested in looking at this presentation with me, and then we would do some gameplay with commentary on the topic. Or we can just hang out and do gameplay with commentary and not look at a presentation. So put a 1 in the chat if you want to do gameplay with commentary only, and put a 2 in the chat if you want to see this presentation. And I'll leave that up to you. So the first, let's see, when we get, let's say, seven votes, and we'll take majority rules. I think Susan saw it yesterday. Yeah. Gameplay with commentary. Yes. Some people haven't. The Obsessed Tier is a smaller group. And so far we have 3 votes. So we need 4 more votes. And then we'll decide. And then we'll, of course, do gameplay with commentary even after the presentation. So and this is all about switching hands. Okay, so, oh, there we go. There's 5. Okay, so we have 5 now. So far, the majority rules is the presentation. And then we have 6, half and half. We need a tiebreaker. What are we voting on? Do you want to see a presentation on switching hands or just do gameplay with commentary? Gameplay with commentary, vote 1. To see a presentation on switching hands, put a 2. Okay, we have a 1. So we have 3 1s, 3 2s. We need a tiebreaker. And then maybe what I will do is a special. What we could do is, okay, so we have a majority vote now. So we're going to do the presentation then. So Susan and Abby, since you've already seen it, feel free to hang out or come back in about 30 minutes. I think this presentation should take about 30 minutes. So if you don't want to see it again, maybe just come back in 30 minutes and then we'll do gameplay with commentary. So we're going to go ahead and do this presentation for the next 30 minutes. If you don't want to see it, exit stage left and come back later. And then we'll do gameplay with commentary, and we'll be playing at I Love Maj. No, we're going to play at I Love Maj because that's where the presentation resides. The presentation is all from I Love Maj. But this is members only, so we could play at Mahjong time. Do you prefer playing at Mahjong time? All right, so 30 minutes from now, we'll play probably at I Love Maj. Just keep it at one place. And okay, so here we go. I'm going to share my screen. You prefer Mahjong time. Okay. That's my favorite place to play, to be honest. But they do have some really great tools at I Love Maj. So I do promote that for beginners and intermediate players. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. What does that mean? Mahjong time is beat. Okay, let me share my screen. All right, I'm going to time this. I believe it is ready. Okay, let's see. I need to get this going. Oh, it's best. I see. Okay. Let me switch my screen here. All right, so let's look at this. This is called Mahjong, American Mahjong, the Pivot Playbook, the art of switching hands. It's all about switching hands. And of course, I would thank my host for hiring me to speak. And my question to the attendees and to you, you're my attendees, so thank you for coming to this event. What is your first reaction when you realize your hand isn't coming together? Do you adapt or do you double down? Adapt or double down? Raise your, well, if I'm on stage, I would say raise your hand if you adapt, raise your hand if you double down. But in chat, okay, that sounds fair, Abigail. Okay, well, this shouldn't take a whole hour. This should only take 30 minutes, I'm hoping. 30, maybe 40, but I don't know. Okay, so Abby says that she adapts. I adapt. All right, we're going to keep going. The Pivot Playbook. This is the topic for today, how to pivot. We're going to dive into one of the most powerful but underused skills in Mahjong, switching hands. The purpose of this, our goal, is to build adaptability, reduce anxiety about changing hands, increase strategic awareness through a guided challenge. Your potential to win isn't determined by the hand you're dealt, but by how you adapt as the game unfolds. To pivot means to completely change the way in which something is done. In Mahjong, to pivot means to switch from one hand to another in response to changing circumstances, like tile availability after discards, exposures, and your own evolving hand development. Why it matters is, number one, it optimizes the winning potential. Pivoting helps you realign your hand with the best possible outcomes as the game unfolds. Also, it reduces emotional attachment to failing hands. By shifting early, you can avoid sunk cost decisions. Choices made based on how much you've already invested in a hand, the time, the effort, the tiles, rather than on what is actually best moving forward. That is the definition of sunk cost. It's the I've come this far, I can't give up now mindset, even when switching would improve your chances of winning. The third reason why pivoting is a great skill to build is because it improves adaptability in real time. You can strengthen your ability to assess the table and adjust based on the shifting tile, flow, and opponent behavior. Most players have one big fear: changing direction mid-hand. Adaptability isn't a fallback, it's a sign of strength. Great players know how to adjust without second guessing. Play smart, adapt fast, fear less. So here's how we're going to do it. We're first going to look at a dealt hand where I'm changing hands using this playbook challenge. We have a north, a green, 3, 4, 5, 8 in bams, 4, 6, 8 in cracks, 1, 2, 3, 9 in dots. In the sort by rank, we have a lot of 1 through 5, basically, or 2 through 6, 1 through 5, 2 through 6. So we could maybe play consecutive run or evens, because there are a lot of even tiles in here. 2, 4, 6, 8. Will it pivot? Can you switch between the two, consecutive run or evens? This is my first pass. So we're going to focus on 1 through 5 or 2 through 6 consecutive run. I'm passing north 9, 8, and we received 7, 3 red. So now we have a pair of threes, which makes me choose consecutive run for sure, because we're going to develop around the 3-dot pair now. For the across pass, we're passing 6, 7, 8, a little bit risky, but we're holding 1 through 5. 1 through 5 is the predominant pattern here, consecutive run, focusing on the 3. We got a 2, 5, 7, 5-dot in there. So now we do have some little odds in here, by the way, but I think 2, 3, 4, 5 is the predominant pattern. So that's what I'm focusing on. Here we're doing the first left, we're passing a 4. So we're going to sacrifice a 4. And we're passing 7-dot green dragon. We have still 1 through 5. We received north 8, 9, so that doesn't affect our hand. But I'm thinking about changing to little odds here, 1, 3, 3, 5, because the consecutive numbers are really not coming in. So I'm passing, not affecting the choices in the hand. We could still do 1 through 5 or little odds, 1, 3, 5. We're passing north 9 red, and we received 5 crack, 7 north. So the 2, 5 and cracks not quite gelling, but we've got tiles we can pass, so we can keep it all. 8 or 7, 8 north across, and we received a white dragon, a 2 band, and a 7-dot. The cross, or the last right, we're passing a 2 crack, 7-dot, 4 band. And we're still targeting the 3-dot because that is the pair in the hand. The last right incoming was east, south 8, not helpful. So the optional across, I let a 2 band go with a south and an 8, and we received a red dragon, a north, and a 9. So I'm thinking at this point, maybe we could do like numbers with 3s. There's a gap, no 3 crack. So here's the hand going into the pick and discard phase of the game. 3, 5 band, 5 crack, 3, 5 dot, pair 3. So we're targeting the 3. The 1, 2 we're going to let go of because we have more little odds or like numbers. We could even do like numbers with 5s because we have all 3 5s. So at this point, there are a couple of flowers out. Dragons are out, 2 green, 1 red that came from our hand. 2 white dragons are out, which is noteworthy. And then we have 2 bam, 2 crack out. In our hand, we have 1, 2, 3, 5, pair 2, pair 3. We still have a little bit of little odd potential, but I think we should switch to consecutive run, leveraging the 2, 3 dot. So later in the game, let's see, we still have a single white dragon. So I started thinking about a year hand. Year hand 2025. We've got a flower and we have 2 5s. I don't see any 5s out yet. So a year hand could work here. The 1, 3 dot, 3, 5 bam is weak, super weak. Even though none of those tiles are out yet, there are more tile. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 versus 5, 6. There are 6 tiles towards the year hand, the first year hand, and only 5 tiles towards little odds, 1, 3, 5, second hand down. So I decided, let's go for a year hand. And then we have the result where a robot won, and we did make a commitment with an exposure with a 5 crack, trying for the first year hand. So the hand did develop well, even after all the changes. Here we have a win by a robot at 44 tiles remaining. This switch to a year hand was at 50 tiles remaining. The switch from consecutive run was at 70 tiles remaining. And we were starting with maybe little odds. So we were in between little odds, consecutive run, like numbers, year hand, the whole way through. So now when you look at the American Mahjong card, the options seem endless. Endless potential, because you've got this whole menu of options in front of you. And there are a lot of commonalities between the hands. So you can think, oh, if I'm going to play this hand, I could easily switch to this other hand that uses the same components. The thing is, though, the hands are not static. That's the reality of it. The hands are not static. So even looking at the card to see commonalities, it's not going to mean that you're going to be able to make a switch, because discards happen, exposures restrict, risk increases. So you've got to be able to adapt to the flow of play. What looks switchable early may be unplayable later. You've got to think about the dependency, the feasibility, and the switchability to make that decision. With dependency, this means it's a situation where you need something and are unable to continue unless you have that thing. In Mahjong, you've got to ask yourself, do other categories or hands use similar patterns and shapes with 2 or more tiles? You've got to have a strong commonality. With the feasibility, this is the likelihood that something can be done or achieved. In Mahjong, you got to ask yourself, can a switch be done based on the dependencies? Do you have the right tiles and enough of them? And were any of them discarded or exposed that could impact your ability to develop that hand? Dependencies and feasibility. That leads to switchability. You've got to be able to switch, but it's going to depend on what is out. And it's also going to matter if you can do it based on those findings. In Mahjong, your ability to switch to another category or hand depends on whether you have the necessary patterns, shapes, and tiles to make it feasible at any decision point. Stubborn or strategic? Do you play with a fixed style of play or an adaptive style of play? The more adaptive you are, the easier time you will have with pivoting. With a fixed style of play, you're going to have limited flexibility. You're going to miss opportunities, and you're typically going to make rash decisions because of the prior two. Limited flexibility and missed opportunities. With an adaptive style of play, you will have increased awareness after training. You'll have greater adaptability as well, and you'll make smarter choices. Here's the challenge. Build adaptability and ease anxiety with this powerful skill builder. Train your eye to read the table and adjust quickly. Shift gears with confidence, even under pressure. Build instincts that help you adapt when your plan changes. This is the goal of this challenge. This isn't a one-time challenge. This is something that I challenge you to do ongoing to build your adaptability skills. The rules are simple. You must switch hands at each milestone that I'm going to share in the next screen. No exceptions. Why? Because this will force you to stay flexible and think dynamically. You're going to play 4 games in a row. In game 1, you're going to pivot after the first left. So when you get your dealt hand, you're going to look at the strength of the hand and choose a category to focus on. And you're going to go through the first round of the Charleston, and then you're going to switch hands. After game 2, you're going to pivot after the Charleston. So you're going to go through the Charleston, the rest of the round 2 and the optional, and then you're going to switch to another hand. Game 3, you're going to pivot at 70 tiles remaining. This is about 2 picks in to the third wall being pushed out. It's about 70 picks remaining. And then at 50 tiles left, you're going to pivot again. So there's going to be 4 hand changes that you're going to do to practice this skill. Every game will push you to make decisions at different times. This way you'll feel what it's like to pivot under different kinds of pressure. There's an option that we're going to do today and that you could also do, and that is, instead of playing 4 games in a row with each pivot point, you're going to use these milestones in one game. So we're going to play one game, and then we're going to pivot after the first Charleston. We're going to pivot after the Charleston, pivot at 70 tiles remaining, and then pivot at 50 tiles remaining. So we're going to go to I Love Maj, and we're going to actually do it now. So here's I Love Maj. I'm going to go up here at the top. Let's see, where did it go? I love, here we go. Oops. I love, ooh. All right, here we go. So we're going to play with, let's see, we're going to go down to Mahjong, or the Charleston practice, actually, because they added a new feature, and we're going to use that feature. It's where you can do Charleston modeling, and then you can play the game forward. We're going to start the exercise now. And you know what? I've not done this before. I wonder what's going to happen. Are we going to be able to see the discards? Because right now we're only going to see the Charleston. But you know what? I've not tested this before. Let's exit. Sorry about that. We're going to play with robots up here instead. We're going to do a just for fun. Here we go. All right. So we're going to play a regular game. All right. Now, 2025 card. Here we go. Start game. So we have a pair of flowers, north, south, red. 1, 2, 3, 8 in BAM's pair 3. We have 4, 5, crack, then 6, 8. So with these tiles, we have a pair of flowers and a pair of threes. There is a predominant pattern here. If this were your hand, what would you focus on? If you want to share that, put it in chat. I'll give you about 10 seconds. If these were my tiles, I'd play probably 1, 2, 3 or 2, 3, 4. I'd play consecutive run, basically. So I would hold all consecutive tiles. Mixed suit 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I agree. 2, 3, 4, 5 of some kind. 1, 2, 3 would work. Maybe the dragon could help. Who knows? Okay, so we're going to pass 6, 8. North 6, 8. Here's a 1. So now we have pair 1, pair 3. We do have tiles we can pass, so we don't need to make a choice. There's a red dragon, and we have 2 clear discards, so we need to let something go. We have a 1, 2, 3, pair 1, pair 3, and a 4, 5. We have a red dragon pair with a 1, 2, 3, and a pair of red dragons. The only way we can do this is if we get a white dragon for the, let's see, 6th hand down. Actually, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6th hand down is that hand with the pairs of dragons, but we have a pair gap. I would probably not do that. I think I would discard the 4 here, because if we get a 3 crack, we could play 1, 3, 5. I would love to get a 3, 5 dot. Let's just see what happens. So we have a 2 BAM, and then here's a 3 dot. So we are now after the first left. We have to change hands. We have to change hands. We have a 1, 2, 3, and clearly we would typically play probably the 3rd hand down under consecutive run, but we're going to force ourselves to pick a different hand. We're going to switch to, let's see, you know what we could do? We could do instead of the 3rd hand down, we could switch to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th hand down and leverage the flowers. So let's break, we're going to continue. We're going to break up the red, pass the green and the 5, or I'm sorry, pass the red 8, 5. Okay, so now we have tiles we can pass, no problem at all. We can still pass tiles here. There's another 3. We can still pass 1, 2, 3. Okay, now We are after the Charleston. So this is the next milestone where we need to switch hands. We have a 1, 2, 3 in BAMs. We have a corresponding dragon, an offsuit dragon, and a pair of 3 dots. So I think if to switch to something else, I would probably leverage the 3s. Maybe even consider like numbers with 3s and dragons. So we're going to switch to like numbers or maybe little odds. The next milestone is 70 tiles remaining. So it would be ideal to get a 3 crack. There's a 3 BAM. So we need a 3 crack. We're playing a gap hand right now.
7.
So if we were to play the first hand, the 3 dot could be our pair, and then we can just use jokers for the missing 3 crack. If we get them, this is going to be a long shot hand.
5 crack. 7
We have 80 tiles remaining. There's a joker. So that could be our 3 dot, our 3 crack. If a 3 BAM goes down, we can call, now that we have a joker, to fill in the gap for the 3 crack. We need Kongs of 2 like numbers and the corresponding dragon. There's the 3 crack. Let's let this, we're at 70 tiles remaining. So we have to switch our hand again. Let's see here. We're switching our hand. Let's switch to the like number dragon hand concealed, because we're not exposed yet. So let's discard the 2 BAM, and now let's play the concealed hand, because we're forcing a switch. We can use either dragon. The 3 dot will need a joker because 2 are out, but we do have no gaps. There's a flower. We could maybe even switch to the second hand down if we get the 3 BAM. Let's let this red dragon go. We're going to switch again at, oh, look, a 6 came in. Okay, now we have to make a choice here. At the moment, we're at 60 tiles remaining. We're playing the concealed hand, so we're going to let it go. We're going to be challenged to switch at 50. One of the reasons this is a great exercise too is it helps you practice a recovery mission. Okay, so now we're at 50 tiles remaining, so we can switch to another hand if we want. This time, let's switch to the hand above it. We need a 3 BAM Kong or Pung. Let's see, we need a Pung. We've got a Pung already. Oh yeah, we need that to be the Kong. That is the concealed Kong. Split Kong, I guess you could say. So, and we can leverage the flowers too. So we're switching to the middle hand, second hand down. Let's let the dragon go. Okay, let's call Kong. Oh, the robot Mahjong. So we are going to go back to I Love Maj now, and we're going to talk about push-pull judgment. When you're practicing switching hands, you also want to think about push-pull judgment, because at some point you may realize that you're not going to be able to win, and maybe the risk is warranted to push to win. So we want to talk about that. Everyone is in it to win it, but there comes a time when you must decide if you're going to push to win or fold and block. This is a judgment call. You must weigh the potential of your hand against the risks. If your hand is strong enough to compete, or is it wiser to pivot and defend? Is your hand strong enough to compete, or is it wiser to pivot and defend? It's about reading the table gauging opponent's hands and making a smart move based on what you see and what you don't. Pushing means that you're all in, even if it's risky, knowing you might deal in or discard a tile to another player, but knowing the reward could be worth it. Folding in Mahjong means that you're going to forfeit interest in your hand and discard safely to avoid discarding the winning tile to an opponent. You've got to consider your needed tiles, whether you're still gathering to be ready to win or if you're actually ready to win. You could need a single tile. You could be waiting for a pair. You could be waiting to complete a pung. Maybe you have two big multiples waiting on one of two tiles. You could also have three big multiples waiting on one of three. And there's also a quad wait depending on the kind of hand you're playing. From single to quad is weak to strong. Single pair would be weak. Multiple is strong. Double, triple is stronger. Quad is the strongest. So you want to look for opportunities to increase the strength of your waiting tile. Again, whether you're still gathering tiles, you can still have some control. If you are ready to win already, that's kind of redundant, but if you are ready to win, you're likely not going to improve your weight because you're already ready to win. If you're strong, if your weight is strong, you're going to push. But if your weight is weak, you're going to fold, most likely, especially depending on the kind of tiles you're picking, because there's risk with your discards. You might pick a tile where risk is unlikely to occur. In that case, you can discard it freely. But you could also have picks from the wall that are going to increase in risk, where there is a possible risk there or a probable risk. And then you've got to think about the impact that it's going to make. If someone has no exposures, you can have a hard time figuring out what they're playing. So the risk there would be acceptable. But the more exposure somebody has, the easier it is to figure out what they're playing. So the impact is going to be more and more intolerable. With one exposure, tolerable. With two exposures, unacceptable. And with three exposures, that would have an intolerable impact. So you want to stay in the low to medium impact range, depending on whether or not you're ready to win and whether you've decided to push or fold. You want to stay, sorry, I need to update that for the other side. Intolerable, unacceptable. That's the high and extreme range. You want to stay out of those areas. You want to stick with where there's no exposures. You can take the risk. If someone has one exposure, you're okay to take a risk, but anything more than that, you want to probably fold. The takeaways here are switching is not weakness, it's wisdom. The tiles are always talking. Observe, respond, and pivot with purpose, whether you're pushing to win or you've decided to fold and block. There's purpose in both. A good player knows their plan. A great player knows when to change it. Try the pivot challenge, track your pivots, and reflect on your patterns. Also, teach this skill builder to someone who's struggling with switching hands. If you practice switching on purpose, you'll be ready when you need to switch under pressure. You, of course, can learn more about how to build your skills and learn new strategies on my website and through videos on my YouTube channel, and you can join the conversation on Facebook. And I thank you for coming to this talk. I hope you found it helpful. All right, so that is the talk. And we made it in probably 35 minutes because we started a bit late. So the talk was 35 minutes, which is really good because after the talk, I would do gameplay with commentary live. So if you know you get their tile, you automatically fold. Not necessarily. It depends on the strength of your weight, your potential to win and get your needed tile, and also their potential. Because let's say that you've pegged their hand and you know they need that they're waiting on a pair tile, and you have that pair tile in your hand, play to win. But if you know what hand they're playing and they need, they have maybe a double weight, and you don't have their tiles and their tiles are not visible on the table, maybe you have a weak weight, you're waiting on a pair tile, you should fold. So there are variables that you've got to consider to make that push fold judgment. That's why it's a complex skill. You've got to practice and think through it, use critical thinking, situational awareness, and social acuity to gather intel to help you make that decision. And it is a judgment call. Sometimes the risk is worth it to push, and sometimes it's better to fold and block. It really depends on your potential to win and the potential to win for your opponent. And hopefully we'll have opportunity to talk about it in this gameplay with commentary. So let me do something really quick here. I have to quickly update something in there before I forget, but I think that presentation is ready to go. I fixed the slide with the extreme, high and extreme chart there, but I think that is ready to go. Yeah, but I think what I want to do also is add an image. Okay, so Misty's asking if they have 2 exposures and they might need a single, or they could use a joker. If you don't know, then you play to win. And does it depend on what others at the table throw as well? Absolutely. Every visible tile, everything visible is going to give you intel to make your decision. So you use the tiles that are visible, tiles just thrown, exposures, and even what happens at the table if you're in person and you can see body language and even table talk. You can use all that information to help you make your decision. All right, so we're going to play now at Mahjong time. So this is going to be a mixed platform just to appease our viewers. So we played a little bit at I Love Maj. Now we're going to switch over to Mahjong time, and we'll do gameplay with commentary where we will talk about switching hands, and we're going to talk also about push fold judgment, and we'll look into weight patterns and talk about that if you like. So it pays, pun intended, to pay attention in playing for cash. Well, playing in general, if you're playing, everybody has some level of a competitive streak in them. It just depends on how strong that streak is, how deep it runs, basically, because I play to win in any time I play. If I'm playing socially, I play to win. Some people maybe pull back in social games. Some people are the same no matter who they play with. That would be me. So it just really depends, but I think it behooves you to pay attention to what's happening at the table and use that information to help you make decisions. Let's go here. Okay, so we're going to go to games, and we'll jump onto this table right here. Okay. I hope you found that helpful with switching hands. The milestones are switching after the first left, switching after the Charleston, switch at 70, and then switch at 50. And you can do it one game at a time with each milestone, or you can do it in one game at each of those milestones. But it's a great way to practice making that decision to pivot. If you force yourself to do it and practice intentionally switching hands, then when you're under pressure in a game, you'll be able to do it with grace and ease. You won't break a sweat. Oh my gosh. Okay. So we are waiting. There we go. Okay, good timing. We're just getting ready to play. I think the presentation is 35 minutes, which is perfect because there's time for Q&A and then there's time for demo as well. So I think it's going to work well. Okay, so yeah, let's see what we can do here. We can look for opportunities to switch maybe in this first game. Okay, there's Misty. So we are looking for one more player and we'll get started here. All right, here we go. Now, when you're practicing with the pivoting, you want to focus on the exercise and not on winning, because more likely than not, you're not going to win because of all the switching. You're going to lose momentum. So when you play where you leverage the trends, then you're going to have a more likely potential to win. So just keep that in mind, adjust your expectations because the purpose is different. If you're purposely skill building, that should be the focus and not so much on winning. All right, so here we have a 7-dot pair. So whatever we do, we're going to use that 7-dot pair. With a 7-dot, I'm thinking 5 through 7. 5 through 7, 5, 6, 7, maybe big odds if we get 9s. Let's see, let's pass a north with 3 here. So 5 through 9, maybe 5 through 8, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's a 7. Okay, so let's keep that. We've got tiles we can pass. Maybe we could have kept that 7 or that 4-dot because we do have some potential for that second hand from the bottom under consecutive run. But we don't have a 6. We don't have a 9. We don't have a 7 bam. I think we're better off playing 5, 7, 7, 9. Big odds maybe. There's a 9-dot. Okay, so let's see. Let's let the 2, 4, 6 go, I think. This is super risky, but we've got to focus on our own hand first. Here's 7, 9, 7, 1, 5. We gave away a 3-dot. We're going to the left. 2, 4, 6. That's a really risky pass. I'm hoping the risk is worth it. Not at this point, although we do have a 1, but that's not really helpful. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. The 1 is a pair, so we really don't need that. We're going to keep going. Big odds with news. We don't have a 5 crack. That would be a pair gap, which would be extremely risky. Yep, northeast, that would be half of news gap and a pair gap. That's a lot of gap. I think I'd rather do 5, 7, 7, 9 gap hand still, but at least we could use jokers for the first hand. Okay, here's a 5 bam, and we got like numbers with ones. We cannot keep all these tiles. Let's let the 8 go here. 5, 7, 7, 9. Oh, we could do, well, even 7, 9, 7 crack, 9 crack. The 9 crack is a pair for that news hand. Either way, we have a pair gap. If we play the odd hand with the jokers filling in for the 3, we could perhaps do that first odd hand, or we could do the same filler feature with the joker for 5, 7, 7, 9, pung kong, pung kong. Big odds. Let's just see what we get. No keepers. Let's pass 1, 8 north. All right, so we let a 4 dot go and an 8 dot go. I'd love to get a 6, 8 and a 7 bam. We could do that floating pair hand. I'm thinking big odds is going to be the way to go though here. All right, we have east, west. Nobody wanted the 2, 4, which is interesting. Thankfully, I'm thinking these came from this player to our left. Ooh, they're passing 1. Yikes, red flag. Red flag. We got the 8 dot back and an 8 crack. So let's keep these and see what develops. So we have 7, 8, 9, 7, 8. Let's see. We don't need to make a choice. Somebody kept the 3 dot.
6 dots.
I think the 1 dots probably need to go.
West wind.
Somebody kept that 3 dot.
West wind.
Oh, there's a white dragon.
1 character.
What about the third hand down? 5, 7, 9 dragon. No gaps. 5, 7, 9 dragon. We need to Kong, pung, Kong, pung. Kong. Let's see. Kong, pung, Kong, pung. The 5 and the 9 need to be Kongs. Uh-oh. Misty lost connection here. Oh, my chair is not cooperating.
White dragon.
Okay, well, we're going to pass. That is not going to be helpful.
4 bamboos.
Maybe we better keep that
1 bamboo.
Let the, ooh, flower. Okay, let's let this dragon go.
White
All right,
dragon.
so now there's a flower. What can we do there? Flower with 7s. We could do
6
like numbers with
bamboos.
7s, actually. Like numbers with 7s.
East wind.
Let's see. 7,
5
9.
dots.
Oh, yeah, we're not ready to act on anything. I don't think so.
Pong.
Oh, look.
2
Joker.
bamboos.
Joker exchange. I would switch to 7, 8, 9 and get that 5 right there.
2 bamboos.
Let's do it. Thank you.
5 dots.
All right. So now let's keep the green. 7, 8, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8. We might be able to do
1 dot.
We might be able to do the concealed hand. 6, 7, 8, single pair
8
pung.
characters.
Okay, pass. That would be a pung for the concealed hand.
6 characters.
We could also maybe play like numbers with 7. So here, we're not doing the challenge per se, but we switched from
7
big odds
dots.
to 7 to like numbers maybe. I would stay concealed because we have a gap. We have no 7 bam.
1 dot.
So I would wait.
3 characters.
There's a 6 bam out, but
2
we would need, oh, there's
characters.
a 6 crack out. We need single 6 crack, single 6 dot
Pung.
for the concealed consecutive hand.
1 bamboo.
Oh, dragon.
3 bamboos.
All right, we've got a dragon there.
4 bamboos.
So one thing we could consider here
2 characters.
is
5
the like
bamboos.
number hand with single
3
dragons.
bamboos.
Use the 8 or the 7 dot as our pair.
South wind.
This would be a 7 bam.
4 bamboos.
So we could
8 bamboos.
Kong 7 bam, although I don't know if I would, because that would put out 3 jokers. Another green. Okay, so now let's let the 9 dot go.
9 dots.
So what I would probably play now is the concealed like number hand.
3 dots.
Concealed like number hand. Now that we have a
7
pair of green
bamboos.
dragons, we're going to pass. So third hand down under like numbers. Every
5
hand within its
characters.
own category, as long as you're concealed, is switchable. Every one.
2
So
dots.
within the category, you've got backups right there. So you don't need a list of backup hands. It's all self-contained in the category, as long as you're concealed.
South wind.
Even if you have one exposure, you can still do
9
you may
bamboos.
still have switchability. So we are
7
playing a gap
characters.
hand. We're going to pass. Let's see. We have all 8s. These are out.
8 bamboos.
We're playing concealed. So let's pass all. Pass all. How does this
6
work?
bamboos. 6
Oh, I see.
bamboos.
So we have pass all.
7 characters.
Okay, there's a flower.
8 characters.
We need a pair of flowers there for the concealed hand. We have 2 discards before we have to
9 dots.
deactivate that pass all.
Green dragon. West wind.
Yes, you definitely need to know the hands. But
8 dots.
I've probably played maybe a dozen times, so I'm still in my transition period. And the more you play, the shorter, or the more you
3
play,
bamboos.
the quicker you can get through the transition. I'm still uneasy navigating the
Red
card.
dragon.
It takes me about a month before I'm comfortable with the
South
card, but I'm
wind.
feeling pretty comfortable with it, actually. Let's see. No 4 dots are out.
4 dots.
And thank you, Susan, for that feedback. Appreciate it. So we're looking for a 7 bam.
bamboos.
There goes another. There are 2 out now,
South
but
wind.
thankfully we have jokers.
4 bamboos.
We have 2 discards. Let's see. Let's let this 5 go.
5 bamboos.
They could be playing like numbers. They could be playing odds or consecutive run.
East wind. One dot. 1 dot.
Oh, I wonder what happened there. Let's let this 9 go.
9 characters.
That was weird.
5 bamboos.
We're looking for sevens. Jokers would be nice. What's happening with the game here? I'm hoping we're not locked up. That's weird. What is going on?
White dragon.
There it goes.
Red dragon.
What is
2 dots.
Was that me?
8 dots.
Are we locked up?
West wind.
No, we're not locked up. The game passed it. Oh,
1 character.
we're set up for discarding. What's going on here?
9 dots. 8 dots.
We're playing concealed, so we don't want to call
8
anything.
characters. 5 characters. 5 bamboos.
Okay. Huh. Nobody wants fives.
Red dragon.
And it looks like nobody's playing a year hand. There are 2 white dragons out.
1 character. 3 characters.
Okay, let's see. No norths are out.
North wind. Kong.
Aha.
9 characters.
I wonder if she's playing a quint. There are 4 souths out. She's got to be playing
9
a quint.
characters.
She's playing a quint over here. So which one? Which suit? 3 dot is
1
right there.
bamboo.
This 3 dot should be safe.
3 dots.
There's a 4 here too.
9 characters.
Oh boy. This
2
2
bamboos.
this 2 dot should be safe. There are 2 out.
Flower. Kong.
Okay, Kong.
8 dots.
Kong. So with a Kong of 5s and a
dots.
Kong of flowers, 9 bam, that should be okay.
9 bamboos.
Kong 5. Oh,
Quint.
there's the quint, a 9.
6 bamboos.
I was surprised by that. So they're doing 8, 9. Now we know.
3 bamboos.
There's a 8 over here. 8. There are 2 8s out.
Flower.
I don't think she has the jokers for this
1
because
character.
we have 3. She's got 2. That's 5.
Flower.
That would mean she's got 3 jokers. I don't think so. This player across from us is
7
doing
dots.
the 3rd hand down under
9
consecutive
dots.
run.
5
So
characters.
are they doing it in 1 suit or mixed suits? Let's see. They could be doing 3, 4, 5
dots.
or 5, 6, 7.
1 bamboo.
We have 7s. 3, 4, 5.
3
3 dot.
characters.
I'm kind of wondering if they're doing a 3, 4,
2
5.
bamboos.
So what are the 4s that are out here?
6 dots.
Here's a 4 bam. 4 bams are out.
3 characters.
1 4 dot is out. 2 3 dots
5
are out.
characters. Red dragon.
1 pick each. We're done, of course.
7 bamboos.
4 6 dots
White
are out.
dragon.
6 crack.
Joker.
1 6 crack is out. Oh, look, we ended up getting. Oh man. All right.
Joker.
3, 4, 5. So they're doing 3, 4, 5. They were going to need jokers big time. And over here, they had only one joker. One joker. And so they were in a holding pattern there, holding pattern here, and then here, 2, 4, 6, 8, 2 discards. Pung, Kong, Pung, Kong. They needed 8 crack, but the 8 cracks were all out. We, of course, were trying for the concealed 7s dragon hand. All right, let's play again. Okay. Somebody asked today, I wondered if anybody has experienced anyone asking this question about the 4th hand down under consecutive run. They asked if the chow could be in the middle. So for example, let's say 4 bam Kong with 5, 6, 7 chow, and then in let's say dots, and then 8 crack Kong. So the chow in the middle. Can the chow be in a different order? And the answer is no. The run has to start with a 1. There's nothing in there that says, that gives you that flexibility. And based on the pattern on the card, it's got to start, your sequence has to start with the chow. But I thought that was an interesting question. I never even gave that a second thought when I saw that hand. Okay. Let's see. Hello, Karen. Welcome. Oh, yes. We always find things to fill our day. We have almost news in there. We have a 1 dot pair, 1, 3. I would focus on little numbers. 1. So I think the 9 and the 6 can go. I'm thinking little odds, or maybe north and south with 1s. There's a 1 bam. Let's see if people send us like numbers with 1s. That would be kind of nice at this point. We have a 1, 3, 5 in there. 1, 3 dot 3, 5 crack. Let's let the dragon go. Oh, we have news. Okay, well, so now we have to make a choice. We have news, 1, 3, 3, 5 news. What about that news hand, odds with news, 3rd hand from the bottom? It's a little bit risky until we get the 5 crack. Okay, let's pass 1, 1, 7. Oh yeah, we want to keep going. So let's try for this one. 1, 3 news, 3, 5. Ugh, that's just weird. Okay, here we go. Okay, we have a west and a dragon now. News with dragons. Let's let the dragon go. Uh-oh. That's an indicator that they left their seat. All right, look, we got a keeper here. 1, 8. We're going to the right. We do have an extra west in here. We need, no, we don't need that one. Well, we could pass 3. We have that, yeah, this player left their seat. Huh. Oh man, and they're passing 1. Yikes. Okay. So we've got 4 discards and a hand with no gaps.
8 bamboos.
It's a little bit risky because
7
we need a
characters.
5-crack pair.
1 bamboo.
Okay, we can pass.
West wind. 5 dots.
Yeah, we really
8
don't
dots.
need that. 1, 3, 3, 5 with news. Third hand from the bottom. Or the 7th hand down under
7
odds.
characters. 1 dot.
That's a pair for us.
7 bamboos.
We need that 5-crack
7
sooner
bamboos.
rather than later. Oh,
White
that is
dragon.
our vulnerability right there. If we can't get that, we're going to be really vulnerable until we get there.
1 dot.
Now, if we pick up a 3-crack from the wall, we could pung and be ready on that tile. Until then, this is going to be risky.
6 characters.
This hand is a 30-point hand because it's got 2 pair and a block of
8
singles.
characters.
2 pair, block of singles. We have 1 pair and
1
our block
character.
of singles, but we need that 5-crack.
9 bamboos.
Okay.
4 bamboos.
Extra north.
7 bamboos. White dragon.
The north is extra.
6 dots.
A 3.
1 bamboo.
Awesome. Okay, so now I would claim a
8
discard for the
bamboos.
3s. I would pung the 3s for sure. We have 2 discards. Still a little bit
Flower.
risky.
9 dots. Kong. 4 characters. Flower. 2 dots.
The 3 bam.
1 bamboo. 1 character. South wind.
You know what? I
4
just realized I
characters.
have a little announcement
8
to make.
characters.
Maybe what we could do,
3 bamboos.
actually, maybe I'll wait. I will wait.
7 bamboos.
No. Next
8
week,
dots.
after this game, I'm going to make a little announcement about the game and an opportunity to get coaching.
Green dragon.
You've got to have a login at Majong time, of course.
2 dots.
So after this game,
West
I'm going to
wind.
show you something, and then I'm going to
3
invite you to
dots.
participate. Okay, let's pung.
Pung.
Let's throw the north.
North wind.
I don't want to do a pung of 3s and then discard a 3
East wind.
because they're going to know exactly what we're doing. So I want to
7
give it a little bit of
characters.
time. Let them focus
4
on their own
bamboos.
hand. Let's give it another round.
8 bamboos.
The next pick will discard
3
that
dots.
3 bam. Maybe they'll be focused on
9
their own
characters.
business at that point. If a 3 crack goes down though,
Majong.
oh, we wouldn't have gotten it anyway because there's a 3 crack over here. So they have a 3-6-9 pair hand. 3-6-9 pair hand. Well done. Well done. This player discarded it over here. They have a year hand building or like numbers with 2s, maybe. And then here we have a 7-8-9 hand of some kind. Over here, we're trying for news with odds. Okay, so let me show you something real quick. And I want to invite you to participate. So I need to log out really quick. I'm going to log into Mahjong Time on the Mahjong Time Lite platform. Okay. Here's Mahjong Time Lite. This is for people who just want to play via the web. I believe you can play here for free. I think this is their free version. So we're going to click play, and then I'm going to sign in. Okay. So in the bottom left corner, you can play with open hands. You see that down there? Play with open hands. Open hand mode. So instructors can use this platform for online coaching. So if we go to Mahjong School and play with robots, we're going to, wait a minute, what happened? They're supposed to be having open hands here. Let me leave. What happened? Normal mode. We want, oh, I see. I accidentally, let's see. Normal, open, save. Okay, open hand. Here we go. Okay, look, you can see everybody's hand. Now, the only thing that I can see here, we have jokers, northeast. We have 3 crack pair, 3-6-9. Let's go for a 3-6-9 hand. Now, if you look at the robots, their hands are not sorted. So it's going to be really hard to coach with the hands arranged that way. So I would not use this as it is right now. We want to keep that 9 because it's too hard to tell what everybody is playing here. Yes, we're going to keep going. Let's put the 3 over here, the 9 over here. So this is a little bit risky. 3-7, 3-7, 5. That's risky. 3 bam. We should keep that. Let's let that dragon go. So because their hand is not sorted, it's going to be really difficult to figure out where the strength lies. There's a 3, 3, 4. 3-6-9, or like numbers with 3s. 2, 3, 5. 1, 5, 1. Oh, hold on. Let's switch to 1, 3, 5. We're going to switch to 1, 3, 5 instead. That's a stronger hand. There's a 1. We would want 2. Okay. So yeah, if you can see the robot's hand, it's going to be very difficult to figure out or how to coach with the hand with the tiles like that. We've got to be able to have them sorted by suit and numerical order. The quint, no, we're not taking that. They just exposed a quint with these tiles? Really? Wow. North, north. They need a 2 crack this year. That's terrible. I would not recommend that. They have a flower pair north. The player across from us, they have a pair 8 bam, 7, 8, 9 of some kind. Yeah, it would be really difficult to coach anybody with the way these are laid out. So if Slava can have the hands sorted, that would be awesome. The other thing that I think would be helpful is, I don't know if this is possible, but if you click on a seat, that the table would rotate. So if I click on Jerry Bot, then his hand would show up in front of me. If I clicked on Tom Bot, his hand would show up in front of me, etc. So right now we only see our hand, but at least you can see the other people's tiles. There needs to be some changes in here though. You wish the robots weren't idiots? Yeah, they are. And that's by design, by the way. They are not intelligent. We're ready to, okay, let's Kong. I think it's a Pung Kong. Pung Kong. Now, if we were playing with humans, they're probably going to be sorting their tiles. So the invitation that I have is come to the live stream next week. We'll get our joker there. So we're ready to win on a 1 or a 5. They are easy to beat by design. The robots are not intelligent by design. So the robot over here has a pung of flowers. They have a pair of 8s, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, 8. They have a pung of 2s and a pair of 8s. What in the world hand would they be going for there? That's terrible. So the player on the left is probably doing winds concealed with dragons. Winds concealed with dragons. They have a gap, no north. Okay, Majong. That voice is weird. Okay. All right. So I will make some recommendations for Slava on this. But if he can get the tile sorted, and if we could turn the table for coaching, then that wouldn't be a deal breaker. But the sorting of the tiles, that is a deal breaker. The game is uncoachable the way it is right now. But if humans were playing, if they sorted their tiles, would that render? So that's what I'd like to test out. So next week, if you'd like to be at the table and see if you can join me on the Mahjong Time Lite, we could try to figure out how to use that for teaching the game to people or playing with humans with an open hand. Maybe it's a good way to get used to the card and everybody could be playing on the new card with their hands open and help each other. Maybe get on a Zoom call so everybody can see everybody's hand, and you can coach each other along the way. So if you would like to participate in that, let's say the first half hour of the stream will be testing open hands on Mahjong Time Lite. You've got to be able to log in though. So if you don't have an account at Mahjong Time, look for my email in the video description below. Send me an email. I can send you information on how to sign up to get an account at Mahjong Time so that you can join us at the table and we can test out coaching. And again, we'll do that the first 30 minutes of next week's live stream for members only. I'm going to go ahead and log back into Mahjong Time, and we'll try to squeeze in 2 more games. All right, let's see if we can find a table. Here we go. And I believe they're going to have the open hand capability on this platform as well. I would even maybe wait until it's on this platform just because I don't like the light platform with the chronological discards. I prefer random discards. We have a black belt at the table. I don't recognize this player. This is the first time I've ever seen this player. And they're a black belt? Huh. I've never seen this player before. Interesting. I haven't been playing very much though. Okay, so we have a joker. We have a pair of 6s and a pair of 9s. 6, 7, 8, 9, or 3, 6, 9. Maybe 9, 7, 5. Let's pass the south 4. We got to let something go here with a 7. We have a 6-dot pair. 6, 7, 8, 9. A 6 came in. Here's an 8. West. Let's let the 5 go. So we have a 6-dot pair with a 9 crack pair. 3s would be great, but we're getting consecutive tiles. A 7 would be nice if we can get a 7 in here. An 8 and a 9. Okay, so here's an 8. Here's a 9. There's a 3. Okay, 3, 6, 9. We have 3, 6, 9 now. Oh my gosh, look at those 8s. Okay, we need to pick a hand. 3, 6, 9 with 9s. 3, 6, 9 with 9s. Second hand from the bottom. We have to pass like numbers. Let's see, 3, 6, 9, 3, 9, 3, 9. Let's see. Oh man, what about the third hand from the bottom? 3, 9 with 3, 6, 9. Oh man. All right. Oh man. I don't want to pass like numbers. Shoot. I don't like passing like numbers. I really don't. Okay, let's see what we can do. That's all right. We got like numbers in there, but now at least we have tiles we can pass. Pass the flower. I'd rather pass like numbers than a flower. But another thing we could do, let's see, we have a joker, so I would not play a pair hand. 3, 6, 9. Let's pass 4, 7, 8. Let's see, 3, 6, 9. There are 3 flower hands with 3, 6, 9. Probably the 4th hand down looks has the greatest potential. 3, 9, and 1 suit with 3, 6, 9 singles. We got the 6 back, and we have tiles we can pass. Okay, so 3, 9 dot Kong with 3, 6, 9 bam. That hand is weird. It feels kludgy to me. I like the next hand down, 3, 6, 9 pairs with Kongs. I think that looks pretty good. Oh, a flower came in. Okay, there's a 6. Okay, we have 3, 6, 9. Pairs of 6s. 3, 6, 9. 6s. 3, 9, 6s, 9. I think I'd rather play the 3rd hand down in mixed suits, 3 dot 6 bam 9 dot, or like numbers with 6s. We're going to pass 2. Like numbers with 6s. Or what about the 1st hand? 3 dot 6 dot 6 bam 9. We're not going to be able to use the flowers. 3, 6, 9 dragon. We could maybe do. We don't have dragons though. Okay, so here are discards. Okay, let's see. I'm thinking
2 characters.
3, 6, 9, 1-2.
South wind.
We have 2 discards before we have to pick a hand though.
8 characters.
6 came in.
4 characters.
That would be a pung
8
for that
dots.
hand.
9 bamboos.
We have 1 discard before we have to pick a hand. Oh, and we wouldn't use the flowers there.
East wind. 1 character. 2 bamboos.
Well,
South wind.
I'm kind of wondering if we should switch to like numbers, because this just doesn't feel right. I want to use these flowers. 6, 7.
4 bamboos.
I want, oh, there's a 3.
7 dots.
Okay, what about, oh no, 3,
5
6, 9
dots.
with 6s. We could try, but
9 bamboos.
we would have to ditch the flowers.
4 bamboos. East wind.
I think I would play like numbers with 6s
8
and
dots.
leverage these flowers. What about the
4
quint?
dots.
We could play the quint. We have a gap, no 6 crack.
Green dragon.
We need a 6 crack.
8 dots.
Dump the flowers.
8 bamboos.
Oh man, I think we should use these flowers, darn it.
8 bamboos.
Well, let's see here. What about if we do 3, 6, 9
2 characters.
thusly? Okay.
7 bamboos.
3, 6, 9. Oh, we need 3, 9.
6 dots.
No. Pass. No, that doesn't work.
7 dots.
This is a terrible situation. 6, 9,
7
sixes. Oh, geez.
8 bamboos.
What about, oh,
9 dots.
I have an idea. I'll pass. What about the evens dragon hand, second from the bottom? 6s with a dragon. We would
4
need
bamboos.
a red dragon. Let's let that 9 dot go.
9 dots.
There's a 5.
1 dot.
No, we don't need that.
7 bamboos.
Let's see if we can get a red dragon.
4 dots.
Red, oh, 9, 3, 6, 9.
5 dots.
Okay, here's 3, 6.
2 characters.
9.
2 characters.
3, 6, 9. We could do the second hand down. Red dragon.
3
Okay,
characters.
there we go. There. That's what we're gonna do. Evens number,
2 dots.
what is that? Number 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Evens number 7.
3 dots.
And we can leverage the flowers. Ready to Kong the 6s? Did we miss any? No. Yes.
9 characters.
We missed a 6 dot.
5 dots. 4 characters. 2 bamboos.
Okay.
2 bamboos.
A green.
3
Well,
dots.
I guess we could keep the green
1 dot.
because we could maybe switch to the
4
first hand
dots.
under like numbers and define that as a 6 crack.
7 characters.
First like number hand.
8 characters.
I wouldn't define it yet. Because if a 6 dot goes down,
Flower.
we could Kong.
Kong.
Oh,
8 dots.
okay.
7 bamboos.
We're going to grab these babies.
Flower. Flower. West wind.
We're going to define this as a 3 bam. Or a 3 bam.
5 bamboos.
Oh, 3 dot. That'll be fine. 3 dot. 6, 9. Okay. 3, 6, 6,
Kong.
9.
7 characters.
It could be a 3 bam or a 3 dot. How many
5
3 dots are
dots.
out? 2. How many 3 bams are out? Let's define this as a 3 bam. How many?
5 bamboos.
Okay, so yeah, 3 bam is better.
North wind.
So now 6 dot goes here.
4 dots.
And this can help us with the 6 or the 9.
9 characters.
Okay, so we're going to Kong.
Kong. Green dragon.
We need to pung the 3 bam, Kong the 6 bam, pung the 6 dot. We're set.
East wind.
Because we took those jokers over there.
Green
Yep,
dragon.
we switched it back. Switch back.
3 dots.
Another flower.
Flower.
So that's the 6th or 5th one out.
West wind. Flower.
7th or 5, 6 one. 6.
6 characters. Kong.
Okay.
9 dots.
All right. We'll find out what's happening there. They could be playing 3. Oh, they had 6, 5 through 8. Okay. So we have Winds and Dragons. Thankfully, they're not pure. That was risky taking those, but News with Dragons. News with Dragons. Over here we have 5, 6, 7, 8. Pung Kong. We switched to 3, 6, 9. And then over here we have Little Odds. 1, 3, crack, 3, 5, bam. 1, 3, crack, 3, 5, bam. Okay, we're going to try to play one more hand. One more. Okay, we got in super quick. Widespread. We have a widespread. So we have 2 5s, 2 6s, 2 7s. So 5, 6, 7. That's an easy choice. We could maybe do big odds. 5, 7, 9. There's a 7 that can be used for either one. 5, 6, 7. Okay, so 5, 6, 7, 9. Let's let the 9 go. Maybe we could do that floating pair hand with 7s. We do have the concealed hand trending at the moment. Four dot, 9 dot. 4 dot came in. 4, 5. Okay, so now here's a 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 6, 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7, 4 through 8 with 7s. We can do 4, 5, 6, 7, pung kong, second hand down, or we can do the floating pair hand, second from the bottom under consecutive run. We have an extra 5, pair 7 with 7s. No keepers. Okay. We can do 4, 5, 6, 7, or 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh. Let's pass east 1 with a 6. Oh my goodness, somebody gave us a flower. All right, well, maybe we could use it. 5, 6, 7, third hand down. There's a 9 and a 7. Oh, okay. Five through 9 with 7s. We have 3 discards. Well, really 4. Let's just pass 2 though. Let's keep the 5. I don't want to pass a 4 or 5 in one suit. We can do 5 through 9, or we can do the floating pair hand, 7 dot with 7s. No keepers. Okay, we have 4 discards, and we have our singles and our pair for that second hand from the bottom. We need to Kong the 7s, super weak, but we
4
can
dots.
use jokers. So let's just see
White dragon.
what happens. I think either way, we don't need the flower.
Flower.
So the 1 dot, the 5 dot, the 3/8
1
crack
dot.
are discards. I wish we could turn these upside down to indicate they're unwanted and still keep them in order.
6 bamboos.
The 3 crack,
3
8 crack, 1
characters.
dot. Oh, look at that. Let's let the 3 crack go.
3 characters.
We got us 8 dot in there. 5 through 9.
9 dots.
The first hand, 1-2 under consecutive run. 1-2, 5 through 9. Pair
3
5.
dots.
Pung Kong Pung pair. Pyramid hand.
South wind. Pung.
Okay, Pung South.
Nine bamboos.
Okay, the 1 dot and the 8 crack are discards. We could still do 5, 6, 7, 8. Pung Kong Pung
2
Kong.
bamboos.
Oh, we don't need a 2 at all.
2 dots. West wind.
So 2 clear discards at the moment. 1 dot 8 crack.
Kong.
Oh, now we know they're playing the first hand. Under winds, 1-2.
Red dragon.
Maybe switching from the
6
concealed
bamboos.
hand. Don't need a 4.
4 characters. 2 dots. Red dragon.
Oh, wow. I'm surprised. They threw away
1
a pair.
character. 4 characters.
I wonder why they're not going for the concealed news hand with a pair of
8
dragons.
bamboos.
Maybe they have a Pungus Norths and they want to leverage the Pung. Are they going to throw another red dragon?
Green dragon.
A green dragon. Okay.
1 bamboo.
All right. We need a keeper in here. No.
1 dot.
All right. So we have 6, 7, 7, 8, 5 through
9
9.
dots. Three characters.
There's 6, 7, 8 in there. 7, 8.
7 characters.
We're not ready to do anything there. The green can go.
Green dragon. 5 dots.
We could Pung that. I think I'd give up on the, let's see. Let's Pung.
Pung.
I decided to Pung
6
because there are 2
bamboos.
9 dots out and there's a 7 crack out.
8 bamboos.
So we're going to play 5, 6, 7, 8 Pung Kong, Pung Kong.
flower,
We can pung the 7 and then build on the 6-8. Deny is
3
a safe
bamboos,
discard. And we may need to fold if
7 bamboos,
if we draw wins. If we
8
draw wins, I
bamboos,
would fold. This would be a big, an unacceptable impact right there. 2 exposures.
1 character, 2 bamboos,
Okay,
green
what?
dragon, 6 characters,
Somebody else
9 dots,
could be playing wins, but it's not going to look good.
7 dots,
It's going to, okay, we can pung.
pung, 8 characters,
Oh, yes. I scared myself for a minute.
5 characters,
Pung Kong, Pung Kong. I thought we were playing big odds. I scared myself. Second hand
Red
down
dragon,
under consecutive run. I thought, oh no, I just got us
south wind,
disqualified. Okay, so let's let the 5 go here.
5 characters, 9 characters,
We need 6-8 dot.
three dots,
Okay, so that'll be a good one.
6 dots,
Oh, shucks. Uh-oh.
7 characters,
Look what came in. North.
8 characters.
I am not going to discard that tile. Nope. So sorry, Misty. We are not
2
discarding
dots,
that north. Not if I can stand. Not if I have anything to do with it.
6 characters, 7 characters,
We fold.
2 characters, 1 character,
We have a long wall.
5 bamboos, Kong,
Okay, now
1
let
character,
me see here.
flower,
Impunity.
Majong,
Aha, look, ready to win on a north. I was not going to discard that tile. Okay, here we have 2, 4, 6, 8 with 4s. Maj more fun. Okay, well done. 2, 4, 6, 8 with 4s. 4th hand down. And Misty was ready on a north. Over here we have 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. First hand in 1 suit. And we were trying for 5, 6, 7, 8, of course, but drew the north. All right. That's going to do it for this live stream. Thanks for playing, Misty. And thank you for hanging out with me. Hi, Wes. We're just getting ready to sign off. And I did do a demonstration of a switchability or a pivot playbook talk. We did that at the first part of this live stream. So if you're curious, watch the repost. And then I also did a short demo of open hands at Mahjong Time Lite, and we're going to test that out next week. If anybody wants to join me at the table, make sure you have a login at Mahjong Time, and we'll try out the open hands feature on Mahjong Time Lite. Otherwise, we'll be back again tomorrow for Hong Kong Mahjong, and then Friday, Simply Social, Let's Play live stream 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern time, and then 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern time for Beat the Pro. We have one person registered, so hopefully more people will register. And then, of course, we'll do Ricci Mahjong on Saturday morning. All right, excellent. Feel free to give me feedback if you have the time. Send me an email if you have suggestions for improvement. I would appreciate it. I think that I'm doing a talk on that for Mahjong Maven in June. And then I'm going to do that presentation in La Jolla in December. So there's plenty of time for tweaking along the way. Which day is that on Light? Next Wednesday. Next Wednesday. So it will be the same place, same time, 1 to 3 next Wednesday, and we'll test the open hand feature on Mahjong Time Lite. I'm hoping that if humans are at the table, they can sort their tiles and we'll be able to see the tiles sorted. In the meantime, I will send an email to Slava and ask him about it and see if I can get an answer before then. Because we've got to be able to see the tile sorted or it won't work, because it's just too hard to interpret the strength of the hand with the tiles not only arranged, vertically and opposite us, but out of order. So it's just too difficult, I think. Oh, no worries, Misty. We'll see if anyone will be able to join us. Otherwise, if we don't have anyone available to beta test, we'll just do gameplay with commentary and stay busy playing Mahjong in another way. Thank you so much for being here. Misty, thank you so much for playing with me. We'll see you again tomorrow, hopefully. And I guess I'll go ahead and sign off. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Make sure you check the little gray bell. That way you'll get notification from YouTube and you won't miss an opportunity to learn a new strategy or pick up an insight to the game that could give you an advantage at the table. Between now and the next video, may all your picks be keepers.